Darshan Johnson to talk about that space because pharma drug sales grew at a slower pace in the month of December. A select few multinational drug makers, though, grew at a faster pace than their domestic peers, perhaps due to the relatively smaller bases. Darshan Mehta standing by with more on this. Darshan, good morning. How did it shape up?
Yeah, it's decent, but it has moderated in December because November was really good for the pharma companies, the growth that is there. And this is according to data from AIOCD. So that is the data. So from a 14.5% growth, which was extremely stellar, it was a 32-month high, we moved down to 8.8%. So this is how the pharma growth is there. But nevertheless, much better than what we've seen, the degrowth that we've seen. So the trend certainly seems to be moderating in December. Now, if you're looking at the trend, what grew, clearly the big problem here, and this is for December, the volume growth is not happening. That was just 0.7%. Majority of it came in because of price hike. So 5.3% was the price hike, new introduction was 2.7%, and that is why this 8.8% growth came in. So this was for the month of December. Now, if you take the whole year as a whole, the growth was almost 10%, and here also the volume growth was very subdued, just 2% volume growth, and majority of the growth coming in because of the price hike of 5.3%. So basically that's the trend that we're seeing. The other factors that we're looking at is what grew. Basically acute, which is 47% of the market, that grew 9.2%. Chronic, which is almost 33% of the market, that grew 11%, and subchronic grew 9% this time around. This is for the month of December. So that is the trend that we're seeing. Now basically, even if you break it down on what grew, the cardiac segment did well. It was up almost 12%. Anti-diabetic was up almost 12%. So majority of them grew in par with what the market was anticipating. So that's the trend that we've seen as far as the entire market is concerned.
What about individual companies, Darshan? And did domestic drug makers perform better than their foreign peers? I guess not.
Yeah, this time around, yes. On an overall, yes, some of them grew well, but on an overall basis, yes, it was the Indian companies that grew well, because MNCs grew at 5.2% in December. Indian companies grew at almost 9.7%. So the trend certainly for December indicated that the domestic companies did well. Individually, if you're looking at the company, the growth for Sun and so this is according to ranks. Sun and Ranbaxy, which is the biggest one, that grew at almost 9%. You had very strong company growth coming in from Zydus this time around, a double-digit growth that came in. Muted growth from Abbott, Cipla. Lupin did well, 8.5%. So that's the trend that we're seeing in the top 5 companies. Among the other ones, you had companies like Alkem. Alkem has been doing extremely well, 13% growth. Mankind has been doing extremely well. Look at the growth in Torrent, 14%. So the lower rung of companies did extremely well in December this time.